It is that simple. Please, if you don't think it is, just turn my video off. But it is that simple to be able to manifest things in our life. Do you believe that you can manifest things? Neville Goddard, the ladder technique. I'm in absolute awe as to how well and how quickly this technique works, and I'm really excited to share it with you. And this has nothing to do with our religious background. This is about human beings being capable of manifesting. This is about human beings being created for this very thing. Although there are many religious books that talk about this, including the Bible. In Mark 11, when he says, whatsoever things you say you shall have, and when you pray, believe that you shall receive them and you shall have them. And so let me tell you about this, because I was like, yeah, I don't think so. And I was very skeptical, but this is how the technique works. So you visualize yourself climbing a ladder right before you're about to fall asleep. That's a drowsy time, and that's when you're going into a meditative state. And when that's happening, you visualize yourself going up and down a ladder, just in your imagination. Close your eyes like you're about to fall asleep, but right before you do, watch yourself, think of yourself going up and down a ladder. Super simple, just going up and down a ladder. That's what you're going to imagine right before you go to sleep, going up and down a ladder. When you get up in the morning, do the same thing again. It's not required, but do it again, because it's that same meditative, drowsy state when you first wake up. Imagine yourself going up and down a ladder. Now, during the day, you can write this down in a few different places if you want to remind yourself. Just say, I don't want to climb a ladder. I know it seems ridiculous. Why am I speaking in the negative when I'm trying to manifest something? But just work with me here. I don't want to climb a ladder. The reason is because our minds do not understand the negative. And I have another video on that if you're not aware of what I'm talking about. But if I tell you right now, do not think of chocolate cake, what are you thinking about? Chocolate cake. So this is how our mind doesn't pick up the negative. Just say, I do not want to climb a ladder. I really do believe that that portion of it is also for the detachment portion, meaning when you desire and you want something, sometimes we want it so much, we're so attached to it that it's not going to come because we have this almost adverse attachment to the thing that we want so bad. But don't you find it interesting, the second you don't want something, it sort of comes along? Like folks always say, you know, when you're looking for a man or when you're looking for a woman, you're looking, never happens. You stop looking, you say, I give up, I'm done. And what happens? That man or woman comes into your life. So we have to have a certain amount of detachment from the thing. Our life can't be completely dependent upon whether or not I get this thing. That's not what life is about. Life is about enjoying life and being content with what we have on the way to the other things that we are experiencing or accessing during this journey. So, step one, when you're falling asleep, imagine yourself going up and down a ladder until you fall asleep. Do it again if you can in the morning when you wake up, and during the day, write it down on a few pieces of paper here and there, or just, as a screensaver or something. I don't want to climb a ladder. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, they say to do it for 3 to 7 days. So I did it for one night. And then the next day happened. And then I fell asleep that night, and I got up the next morning, and I had forgotten that night to do the whole I'm climbing a ladder thing. I did it the night before, and I did say all during the day before that I don't want to climb a ladder. And then I went to sleep and I forgot to do it. And the next one I woke up and I'm like, oh, right, let me just imagine myself climbing a ladder. And I started laughing out loud because, for one, I had no intentions of leaving the house. And I don't even have a ladder here. I'd have to go to my other property to get a ladder out of the garage. So I was just chuckling that it can't happen for me because I have no plans, no appointments. I only have to work out of my office. My office is at the house. I'm not even going anywhere for this to happen. So anyway, I just was laughing to myself that this is not going to happen. But again, I'm laughing so hard that following morning when I was reminding myself, oh yeah, why don't you think about the ladder thing? Because I didn't even think about it. But the day before, I actually had to put something up in the attic and I pulled down the ladder. and I went up the ladder and I came down the ladder. I haven't been up in that attic in I don't know how many months. And it just made me laugh. I wasn't even thinking that there was even a ladder in this house. And I knew for sure it wasn't going to happen because I wasn't even going to leave the house. All this sounds so silly and ridiculous, but it's amazing to me. If you look up online, if you look on YouTube and see how many people have shared their story about the ladder of just the most random places that people have been and asked you to use a ladder when you try this technique. And it's amazing. So within a matter of literally the one day into the second day, so less than 48 hours, I manifested climbing a ladder. And it was very easy to do, very simple. And I do believe I don't want to climb a ladder and that detachment, but while your subconscious is also receiving it simultaneously, has quite an impact for sure. And so this to me is awesome. And I love when you hear when Neville Goddard was giving his lectures back in the day, and he would ask his students to try this technique or to try this exercise. And when they would come back, whomever was able to execute this exercise, they would come back to the next session and he would say to them, so you were able to do it? And they were like, yes, we were able to do it. It was all the funny stories were happening. And then he said, now, wouldn't it be great if you did it with $1 million? And it really is amazing to me that it is that simple. Please, if you don't think it is, just turn my video off. But it is that simple to be able to manifest things in our life. It goes both ways. So if your thoughts and if you're thinking about things that are not good, that are negative, you're manifesting that just as much as you can manifest the good stuff, right? So might as well manifest the good stuff. Why not? Literally, life doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. And we realize this, we realize how capable we are. And don't get me wrong, I still give Source, God, Heavenly Father, universe, whatever it is you choose to call your higher power that has created you, whatever you call our creator. I know and understand it is through our creator that all of this happens. I just get extremely excited to realize how easy he's made it for us. And I'm saying he for the lack of a better term, because the spirit doesn't have a gender. And with that, I just am elated that no one's ever shared with me a technique. I've always believed that whatever I believe, whatever I think I can have, I've always believed that. That's why I've just done everything I've ever wanted to do. I just go for it and do it because I believe it's completely possible. All things are possible. Yet no one's ever shared any kind of exercise or technique to be able to show or to say, wow, this really does work. Well, I hope you try it. I hope you enjoyed my little version of what happened to me. Until next time, shine.